Dan Dickau, Scorebook Live, Washington, here with head coach of the Reardan Indians, Brian Graham. First off, Brian, thanks for joining today, sharing a little bit more about your basketball program over the course of the summer months leading into next season. Can you share a little bit about the commitment that it takes to grow a program that you took over into becoming a very competitive program, which is where you're trending in that direction? What does it take during the summer months?
Well, it starts with the youth, and our cage camp this year lasts 4 days, and we had a record 107 campers in grades 1 through 8 that really worked hard for about 4 hours a day, and my high school players were there coaching and helping, but it has to be a community whole program, and I got to start at the youth and work my way up to the high school. The high school boys, I have 3 teams going right now, and the varsity guys, I really demand commitment. We have a few practices to start off the summer, and then we play in about 35 to 40 games. Right now at Gonzaga camp this week, but Thursday through last Sunday, right before it, we were all the way in Oaxaca, traveling all over the state, trying to find good 2B competition to play against. And we asked a lot of them, but the varsity level boys know that this is what it's going to take to get us better and to win the Northeast 2B League, and that's what we're trying to do.
For any B school, your goal is to make it to what I think is one of the coolest events in the state of Washington, regardless of sport, and that's the Spokane Arena, the State B tournament. How have you kind of helped your program and the kids that are coming up through it set that as a goal? What have you talked to them about the experiences that they're going to go through to get to the point where they could accomplish that goal and play at the State B tournament?
Well, in Reardan, at the 2B level, we are second, actually, in all-time state appearances. It's just been a few years. So our parents all went to state, and they're teaching their kids that that's the goal. If you go to state, even though we haven't been there in a few years, it's like a Reardan reunion. We're all there all weekend and watching and learning. We actually just played a game an hour ago, and our captains weren't happy with the effort. And one of our captains kind of stopped me and said, "Boys, is this our goal? Do you want to be there?" And called out a couple of kids, and it's definitely a goal of ours. And we push them hard, and we talk about the difference in a team that's just happy winning and a team that's going to dominate and impose their will on the team. And that's what it takes to get to the state tournament. You got to dominate and you got to impose your will. You can't play to the opponents.
One of the fascinating things that you look out at across the state for a lot of smaller schools such as yours, you have great athletes that are multi-sport athletes. You might learn one aspect of conditioning from another coach, or you might learn how to accept a different role in a different sport that maybe you excel in. What are the challenges or what are the benefits even of having multi-sport athletes at Reardan?
We definitely do. We definitely have multi-sport athletes, and most of my guys play 3 sports. All of them play 2, most of them play 3. In the spring, the baseball coach, track coach, and football coach and I, we all sit down and we make our summer schedule. And we try to make sure that we never make a kid choose one sport or the other, that we do things around each other to build the entire program. We also have to just work together as coaches to make sure that our kids are rested, strong, prepared for each season and not burn out. We also, we just have to. The other good thing about having multi-sport kids is one kid may be a basketball player first, but he plays other sports because his teammates need him. He might be a football player first, but he plays basketball because he knows he's good at a few things that he can really help his team. And so it's fun to see kids who are studs on the diamond or great on the football field also come out and play basketball, and vice versa. They're being able to score 20 points a game on the basketball court, but they know that they're needed in middle infield. They know they're needed at tight end or something like that as well. So we make it work, and we want our kids to play multiple sports.
It's great hearing you kind of share about the multi-sport athlete and the sacrifice that many of them make. So many times coaches like yourself at the high school level grew up wanting to be in charge of your own program. And you go to college and you kind of have to go through the learning steps and the learning curve of what will it take to be a high school coach and run your own program someday. You had the experience and the opportunity to learn under, quite frankly, one of the best, or maybe the best father-son duo at the college level ever, under the Bennetts at Washington State. Share a little bit about what they meant to you and the mentorship and what you learned from them.
I learned a ton, an absolute ton. When Coach Bennett Dick Bennett, would get real upset in practice. He was a real fiery guy. And as a young manager watching and listening every day, I wouldn't understand why he gets so upset about things. And I listened and I listened and I listened. And he just saw the game like 2 steps ahead of anyone else. And I didn't understand why he was so frustrated when somebody got beat baseline because they still missed, you know. He really just, I really learned how to teach and how to coach and play defense under him. And that's the way we play. We play pack line defense, and I absolutely love it. When Virginia was playing for the national title last year, my point guard, he texted me and he goes, "Man, Coach, I think we play defense a lot like Virginia does." And I laughed and I said, "Yeah, Zane, we do play the defense that way." And the boys don't realize that, but I watch Virginia now religiously because I absolutely love watching Coach Tony and the way he talks, the things he says in post-game conferences when they lost 2 years ago, the way he took that loss. And that's the way he talked all the time. It was just, he's the type of guy, Coach Tony was, that as soon as he started talking, you just wanted to listen. You wanted to listen to his wisdom, his knowledge. He had such a great relationship with everybody, even, you know, us managers and stuff like that. I learned a lot from them. And although I'm not in contact with him anymore, I really love listening to anything I can. I follow every Virginia thing I can just to listen to his comments post-game. And he still talks a lot of X's and O's in those that I learned from.
Well, it shows you the impact that coaches at any level can have on their players. And we wish Reardan nothing but the best in getting back to State B at the Spokane Arena. Brian Graham, head coach of the Reardan Indians. I'm Dan Dickau for Scorebook Live Washington.